We all worked at the same company, Sterling and Rowe Consulting. High pressure, corporate, competitive. I was a senior project analyst. Her name was Tenny Adebayo, my closest friend in the office. And his name was Adrian Cole, the operations director. Adrian wasn't loud. He didn't flirt around the office like other executives. He was disciplined, intelligent, intentional. Tenny and I started at Sterling the same year. We shared lunch breaks, shared Uber rides, shared secrets about management. She used to say, "One day, one of us will marry a big man in this building." We would laugh. Neither of us knew she meant it. Adrian noticed me first. It started with feedback emails. "You handled the Kingston account well." Then late strategy sessions. Then conversations that had nothing to do with work. One night after a client presentation, we stayed back to revise figures. Everyone had left. The office lights were dim. It wasn't romantic. It was quiet, intentional, real. When he walked me to my car that night, he said, "I don't mix business with emotions, but you make that difficult." I should have walked away, but I didn't. We kept it private. Corporate politics is ugly. Tenny was the first person I told. She froze for half a second, then smiled. "Wow, Director Adrian? You're moving up in life." But after that day, she started watching him, watching us, asking subtle questions. Is he serious? Do you think he'd ever marry someone from his own staff? I thought she was being protective. I didn't see the shift. 3 months later, a huge promotion opened up. Head of strategy. It was between me and Tenny. Adrian was part of the final review panel. I didn't want favoritism. I told him to recuse himself. He did. The board chose me, fair and square. But fairness doesn't stop jealousy. Tenny congratulated me in front of everyone. That night, she cried in the restroom. I saw her. I pretended not to. That was my mistake. Rumors started that Adrian influenced the board, that I manipulated him, that I was sleeping my way up. The comments were subtle, but consistent. Anonymous emails were sent to HR, complaints about professionalism. Tenny comforted me through all of it. I don't know who's jealous of you. I do now. Adrian began distancing himself, not emotionally, but publicly. He stopped walking me to my car, stopped sitting beside me during meetings. Pressure was building. Meanwhile, Tenny started spending more time in his office. Strategy briefing, she would say. One evening, I returned to the office to retrieve my laptop. Adrian's office door was closed, but not fully. I heard laughter, low, intimate. Then her voice. "You deserve someone easier, someone who won't damage your reputation." Silence. Then his voice. "You understand me." That sentence, that single sentence, broke something in me. I walked in. They moved apart, but not fast enough. He didn't deny it. He looked exhausted. "This is getting messy," he said. "You or her?" I asked calmly. He ran his hand through his hair. "I need stability." Stability. That's what he called betrayal. Tenny stood there like she had won a trophy. And just like that, he chose her. Within weeks, they went public. Office romance. Whispers everywhere. HR called me in again. Conflict of interest investigation reopened. I was reassigned to a less visible role, temporarily. Translation: embarrassment. But humiliation does something powerful. It sharpens you. I resigned. Not loudly, not emotionally, quietly. And I started something bigger. I launched a strategic consulting firm. Small at first, just me and one assistant. Then 2 former clients followed me. Then 4, then 7. Within 18 months, I was handling accounts Sterling and Rowe had lost, including 2 major contracts Adrian failed to renew. Meanwhile, inside Sterling, things weren't romantic anymore. Tenny grew insecure. She monitored his phone, questioned every female colleague. Adrian felt suffocated. The thrill of betrayal fades quickly. Real life does not. Performance reviews came. Revenue dropped. Board members were unhappy. And guess who they blamed? Adrian. 2 years later, we all met again. Corporate Leadership Awards. My company was nominated for Emerging Strategy Firm of the Year. I walked in confident, composed, unbothered. Tenny saw me first. Her face tightened. Adrian looked stunned. Not because I looked good, but because I looked unaffected. That's worse. He approached me outside on the terrace. "You've done incredibly well." "I had to," I replied. Silence. Then, "I made a mistake." There it was. The sentence men whisper when pride collapses. She wasn't who I thought. I almost laughed. "You mean the woman who helped you betray me betrayed you too?" Poetry. Tenny cornered me in the restroom. "You think you've won?" "I never competed," I said. "You stole." Her voice cracked. "You were always ahead of me, always chosen." There it was. It was never love. It was comparison. Jealousy disguised as loyalty. Later that night, Adrian said it clearly. "Can we try again?" I looked at him. This was the man who chose convenience over character. I don't want a man who needs to lose me to understand my value. His silence said everything. Across the hall, a respected investor, calm, observant, had been watching me all evening. He approached, confident, direct, intentional. Adrian watched us shake hands, then laugh, then exchange numbers. And in that moment, he realized he didn't just lose a girlfriend. He lost a partner, a builder, a woman who would have built empires beside him. And that was his biggest mistake. Some men lose love because of betrayal. Some lose it because of ego. But the most tragic ones lose it because they were too afraid to rise to the level of the woman who loved them. And that was his biggest mistake.